Hey y'all, good Thursday evening to you. I got a lot of spots on this place I like a lot. This is one of my favorites. It's up the top of the pasture, almost. Under a little old oak tree. It wasn't playing, got a good shape to it, but got a little shade. And I'm in a good shape. Getting to look over the garden we put so much work in. Kind of a simple guy too. Y'all, country folks may know this. Hang on, let me turn this around. These little old thistles, I mean, they're solid and purple thistles. I remember as a kid, you could touch those leaves and it'd fold up. Let me see if I can get over here and do that. It's kind of neat. Kind of like a Venus flytrap, if you would. Let's see. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's the leaves. If I touch it, it's gonna fold right up. How about that? That's something. Just fold right up. I reckon it'll straighten out tomorrow, maybe. I know, I can get joy in the simple things. Maybe that's what keeps things rolling. These old pumpkin vines are gone crazy up here, and they are loaded with pumpkins. Never grown them before, so we'll see how it goes. Gave me a little phosphate for the roots and for the fruit. So we'll see how that goes. Watermelons are coming on, and cantaloupe, the whole gamut. I gotta admit, that old garden looks good, y'all. Look yonder. The sun's got us down. I've been looking at this old corn patch, and see that dip right there? We'll walk down it here in a minute. But I'm standing on a diagonal line where the latest space shuttle tragedy, what was that, I guess a decade or more ago or so, it exploded over East Texas. A lot of y'all remember that. Well, a line of debris came off that pine tree in a diagonal line back through there, as well as some other areas. But kind of wondering, that little low spot, if that ain't radioactive corn. May not eat any of that, I don't know. We'll see. It beats anything I've ever seen. Shows a stark contrast between the dirt quality out here within a few feet, I guess. Y'all see that white dot? That's Sissy. Just checking things out. No, it's been a good week. Had a lot on my mind this week, and I actually learned some lessons or discovered a few things about myself even further, as that tends to happen as I observe things. I think it started earlier in the week. I was down at the little convenience store getting me a Coke after working out here and weeding, and it gets so hot, and just ran up there to get me a fountain drink. And there's a kind of a shady crowd from time to time visit that place. That's all right. Everybody's got to shop somewhere, but it's the closest one to me. But I've noticed the last few weeks, or the last week, they've had a rotation of bums up there. And yeah, I said they're bums by definition. They are, at least at this season of their life. Hopefully things will change and they'll pull out of it. I try to be nice to everyone, but it wears on you sometimes, you know, especially when you're hot. You've been working and there's an old boy trying to get a nickel for a beer and just standing there. So I guess I had all I could take, and I was nice enough, but I saw his body language as I exited the truck, knew what was coming next, and he wanted to borrow $1. And I stopped, and as nice as I could be, I said, "Man, is there a sign up here saying this is where you stand to get money?" And he looked at me and said, "I've been out there working all afternoon, coming up here to get me a drink, and I got to deal with this." Went inside, and it kind of, I guess the right words, hey, baby, kind of hit you in your gut, convicted you a little bit, like, hey, you didn't have to do that, Joel. So I got my little Coca-Cola and went outside, and I went up to him and said, here's the deal. Are you hungry? Well, yes, sir. I said, okay, well, let's go get something to eat. So we walked back in. He asked if he could have this and that, so I did. And he turned to me and said, "Can I get a pack of cigarettes?" I'm like, "No, can't eat those." So I got him something to drink, something to eat, and he left. The more I thought about it, in the wake of some conversations this week, and Mom's, what do you call that? I guess the first anniversary of her death, June 3rd, is coming up, and got to studying on myself. And I thought about something that a Texan knows well, or even a country person knows well, more than anything else. We like cows, one for the steak, but number two, a pair of old boots that you get out of that leather. Some of y'all may know what I'm talking about, maybe even a pair of shoes, but when you got a good pair of boots, and I can think of 2 or 3 pair I've had in my life that just, when you put them on, they hurt you like the dickens for that first few days. But once you got them broke in, nothing fits you any better. And if you wear a size 10D, and another old boy wears a size 10D, if he puts on your boots, it'll fit him by design, but it just don't hit the curves of the feet just right on that other old boy, like it did on yours when you was breaking it in. That's kind of when it hit me. We all go through things in life, and we sit in different seasons, and who knows really where someone's at. We all got our own pair of boots to wear, and they only fit us just right. And maybe we don't like the color of the boots or the way the sound makes on the pavement, but that's how somebody's living. When it comes to loss and things, everybody deals with it differently. Some folks are able to pick up the pieces and move on a little better, and hope that I have, but I think my dad always tells me I'm as busy as I want to be. Man, I'm busy on this place. If I stopped, it'd go right on. Nothing would happen. It'd be fine. Nobody'd know the wiser. If I was around, I guess I'd know it. But day comes tomorrow, I need to move on, and this old place will go to pasture again, just like it was when I got here. But for now, I guess I'm in a relationship with a complicated farm. It keeps me busy, keeps me focused on things, and kind of draws me a little closer to the good Lord. And love my children, my family, and my son in there. But kind of get lost out here in this garden, and maybe I make myself too busy at times and neglect those around me, but it's just a pair of boots I'm wearing right now, and that's how I walk, right? If I can get through this corn. Y'all see that? Well, let's see. Y'all can't really see it. Chicken's hiding in the corn. That's smart, girl. Them old hawks can't see you in there. That beat all though, it's all tall up there, and we're full of corn. Down anyway, I don't know. I may sell that low spot corn. I could sell it for a coronavirus cure. I don't know. They can't tell me it ain't until it's done, right? No, shouldn't be joking about that, I suppose. But been a good day. Turkeys are starting to get a little braver. Almost on cue. I heard one of them hollering up there in the thicket. Let me show y'all these things. Let them wander a little bit more in the evening now. I'll tell you there's something else. If y'all ain't never seen nobody herd turkeys at dark, it ain't a pretty sight. Because I'm having to keep the goats out from their feed. I got to put the feed down to get them in there. It's a wreck. But I wouldn't have it any other way. There's Mrs. Reese and Mrs. JoJo. How you doing, girl? And the whiner. What you doing, DW? Huh? You're just a mess, ain't you? They've already ate, but they never get enough. Y'all can see through that privet hedge. See the other side over there, that high line? Couldn't see that about 2 weeks ago. They're making quick work of it. And I guess that's how they freshen their breath with a little cedar bark. That's all right. But I hope y'all had a good week. And maybe study on that a little bit. Everybody's walking in their own boots, and they fit them just right. Maybe we wish they'd get another pair, but for now, that's what they're walking in. I've got 3 more broody hens in there hatching out. Had another one hatch about 4 out, and they're tough old birds. Got about 6 or 8 babies in there, and when I feed, kind of give a treat out here, a little hen scratch in between the pellets, and them little old biddies get right up in amongst them hens. Never seen nothing like it. Y'all see Sissy out there digging? You can say goodbye to that pea row. You see me hollering at her? Nope. Ain't been a deer yet top any of those peas or corn or watermelons or nothing. So if that's where she wants to lay, then those peas will just not make this year, and that's okay, right? My cucumber, I guess I'm further behind than I thought. I think I was last year, even with these chronicles, I get confused. Last year I didn't have corn at this time, but I had pickles for sure, or cucumbers. I only got one vine coming on. There's several on it. Because I remember I was making those refrigerator pickles about this time, taking them up to hospice as we held our vigil with Mom. And those are pretty good pickles. Problem is, I didn't write down the recipe. I took about 3 and put it together, and those are the best things I ever eaten. And they wasn't even pressure cooked. I mean, they were just refrigerator. Tastes like those Vlasic pickles, not a cucumber hint in them. So I'm gonna try to replicate that this year, but I'm not got really high hopes. Look at those tomatoes, y'all. That cool? I had to come out here and put just a little dusting of some livestock dust on them because we had some critters getting on them. They got tomatoes on them. They're coming on. Hay bale garden's doing good. But it's starting to compost a little quicker than the vegetables are making, so every day it's falling a little more. I have to go push it up. It's doing all right. Good times around the farm, and all is well here at the Chronicles. Let's do a quick roll call. Y'all sound off where you're at. Some of y'all getting wet this evening. I know Illinois is getting some rain, some bad weather. We've had just enough rain here on this place to make that garden explode. I think that lower planting of corn is probably doubled in size in the last few days. But I got a little killing to do tomorrow. Got some nitrogen robbers in the middle set of that corn, so I'll get up early in the morning and see if I can't knock some of that weed growth out and pull it back together, right? All right, y'all sound off where you're at. We're gonna do a quick roll call, if I can figure it out. Let's see. All right, here we go. There's Donna Boatman, Gottfried, saying howdy. Mike's out in Southern California. Blessed Thursday to you, Charlotte. You did catch me live. How about that? There's Miss Jean Cates from Grand Prairie, Texas. Miss Nancy Black, thank you, ma'am. Charlotte saying howdy. Radioactive, you glow in the dark, I guess. But anyway, they know where to find your body, I guess, if you're radioactive glowing. I don't know. That was bad. Carrie saying good evening. Aggie from Allen, Texas. Maria, slowly melting out in California. I think she said it was something about 104 degrees in the group the other day. I shared a little turkey update. Wasn't nothing special necessarily, just the daily routine of letting them turkeys out. Get them a little sunshine. They come out of that pen, and what are they, 7 weeks, 8 weeks old? They hit that open spot, and they just lay out with their feathers just thrown out. I don't know if they're cooling off or not, but they're something else. Thank you, Allison. There's Dale Alexander from Alabama. Aggie's checking in. Sherry, thank you, ma'am. There's Dale, pretty turkeys. Poured rain yesterday and today here, says Deborah. Senora Hernandez is watching. You'll be proud of me. I think about you every day because large Hispanic population here in Nacogdoches. And a lot of them have a language barrier. And boy, I know the alphabet, and I can still see those silly vocabulary words that she drilled in Spanish 1 in high school. Used to make me so mad having to learn what a boy was and what a sister was. Oh man, now I know the language enough to get through it. So thank you, man. Who knew, 30 years later, I'd be using it like I am. All right, there's Todd. Great message. Thank you, sir. There's Mr. Roy. And Kathy Wright's checking in from Arkansas. Thank you, Mr. Andrew, out from Interlochen, Florida. Yeah, that corn's looking good. It's all eared out. Their pollen's dropping. I'm a little depressed not to see the bees this year. I remember last year I took a video of, they were just abuzz with bees. And I know I've had some experiences. In my retail days, we had a big old swarm of bees on the Cabela's there in Waco. And everybody was scared of it. They wasn't aggressive, wasn't Africanized. They were just swarming. It was that time of the year. All I'm going to say is they didn't live, and it was against my wishes what the decision was. And people just don't understand how important the bees are to our whole life cycle. So y'all figure out another way. There's too many people that'll come handle them and not kill them. Right? it sustains us. This thing's a cycle for a reason. In fact, I went to putting a little livestock dust. It's got a little permethrin in it. And I didn't want to lose my tomatoes, to be honest with you. My marigolds didn't come on quick enough. So I put a few on. I did about 3 or 4 plants, and I stopped and thought, well, foot. It's going to kill the ladybugs and the wasp and all of it. I think I'll take my chances, so I stopped. And if anybody wants to buy some cheap garden and livestock dust, I've got a couple bags in there I'll sell you cheap. Well, no, I guess I will, because that means you're going to do it. And you might live up the road and kill the bees up yonder. Find other ways. There are other ways. If it isn't, then let it be. All right? All right, there's Melinda. Todd saying rain here in central Oklahoma. Mike said 104 today. There's Joyce in Athens, Texas. Jerry's checking in. Miss Jane Qualls, how are you? Lord of mercy, 108 degrees in Arizona, says D. Y'all can keep all that. Northern Colorado, I bet you it ain't 108 degrees there, Terry. Forney's checking in with Patty. There's Diamond, Missouri. Hi, Shirley, how are you? Pam, I have dug the potatoes. I'm actually using that old ground as a storage tank. And dug some over the Memorial Day weekend. And I've got about half more to go. I did well with them this year. Last year I had 200 feet and pulled 5 potatoes. This year I had about 100 feet, and I've already pulled about 30 pounds of potatoes. So got that more to go. But I'll probably dig the rest of them up here in the next weekend. And of course, you don't wash them if you want to preserve them, y'all. There's your hint, your gardening tip. They don't need to be clean. They just need to dry out in a cool, dark place. Not touching each other, they'll rot for sure. But they'll last right on if you take care of them. Probably end up doing that. There's Miss Veronica. You spoiled that goat. No, man, you spoiled that goat. I got that goat spoiled. Wait, I got it, comma, spoiled. Is that how you do it? Anyway, y'all know what I meant. Hey, Margie, how are you? Down Huntsville, Texas way. There's Deborah again. And Teddy's saying howdy from the North Carolina hills. All right, y'all remember that. Old boots. When you break them in just right, they fit one set of feet. Man, my grammar is gone tonight. But I learned that lesson this week. The old boy had him a stale burrito and a slushy and I think an egg roll. But he was happy as a lark walking down that road. That's all right. Yeah, there goes another hill of peas. She's something else. Love that girl, though. All right, y'all have a good evening. Be the light, and remember, everybody's walking their own path. Try to be a little understanding about it. I know I am. Talk to y'all later. Be the light. Sissy, sweetheart, come here.